How is our corn already 5 inches tall when most people are just starting to plant? Today I'm showing you the secret of being way ahead of schedule, the surprising success of our budget greenhouses, and the honest truth about a big mistake I made that could cost us our summer garden. Hi, and welcome back to Whitetail Acres Farm. Our first stop today is our corn patch. If you remember, we used our rain-flo system to lay down some plastic mulch in our corn patch here about a month ago. So that way we can get a head start on our corn, and the results are already speaking for themselves. Most people in our area are just now starting to get their corn planted, but here you can see our corn is already several inches tall. And it's only May. We're getting a real head start, and we are so excited about that. We're really getting a head start on things this year. Using our rain-flo system has really been a game changer. Even our potatoes are getting so big. I think the rain-flo was able to significantly get the temperature in the soil up much quicker, and everything just turning green and big and lush is really exciting to see. Next to our corn patch is a bed where we have a bunch of garlic planted that we overwintered, and these are even looking much better than they did last year. I'm really excited, and I think that we're going to have much better garlic this year. Last year we got some, but they were pretty small. This year though, I mean, some of these are looking nice and thick already, so hopefully what's underneath is just as impressive. The next thing on the list was working on the main garden here. I started by taking up the old weed barrier that was on half of the garden here. It was starting to get worn and get some holes, and so weeds were popping up a lot easier, and I just wanted to get some fresh weed barrier down to help control the weeds this year. It also makes it look a lot nicer too. I just need to figure out where the holes are going to be for the plants before I start planting in a couple weeks, and then it'll be all set. A couple other updates I made to it was I started extending the weed barrier out past the posts. We're going to end up putting a permanent fence on the outside of these posts. I had a different type of fence up. It was more of like a plastic flexible type fence, but it was supposed to help deter the deer, and it did not. So we got something a little bit more sturdy that we're going to be putting up soon here before I start planting everything. I wanted the weed barrier out past the posts so that way it helps just control the weeds from creeping into the garden. It'll also make it easier once I have the cattle panels put back up, so that way I can come out on this side of the cattle panels and I'll be able to pick whatever produce is growing on the outside of the cattle panel without having to worry about the weeds scratching my ankles or just getting in the way. Now to the greenhouses, and to my surprise, these two inexpensive Amazon finds are still standing and doing pretty well, especially this one where I made a video a few videos back about how we lost the instructions on how to build it and had to figure it out ourselves, and it worked out, and it's still standing. I'm really excited, and what's inside it is even more exciting. Inside this greenhouse, my experiment of growing strawberries is just a huge success. I've always struggled growing strawberries in the past, but look at this. It's only mid-May. We have flowers forming everywhere, and we even have a bunch of strawberries growing and ready to be picked. It's incredible. And how exciting is this? Amazing. And in this greenhouse, we already have some herbs coming up and a ton of lettuce, carrots, and onions. Everything is looking so great. I really am looking forward to seeing what kind of harvest we get from these too. I always try to grow carrots. Last year I had some success with it. This year might be even better. And the next thing here is a little bit of a confession. So I made a bit of a mistake this year, and I got really excited about how well things were doing in the greenhouse, and I decided to move all of my seedlings from my indoor grow station out into the greenhouse. So my logic was that it would be so much easier if everything was all in one place. And so I'd bring the seedlings out into the greenhouse and I could water everything at once. It would just be more efficient and make life easier. Plus, the thermometer in the greenhouse was saying that it was warm enough. And I thought that the windows on either side would help bring in enough breeze to help them harden off naturally and faster. But I was wrong. So I was wrong. I failed at this. The seedlings are growing at a painfully slow pace and not nearly where they should be by this time. I still plan on getting them planted in a few weeks, and I think I'm just going to have to give them a lot of TLC in order to get them growing to where they need to be so they can start getting strong and producing. So I have to rethink this for next year. It was a good idea, but it didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to. All in all, it was a productive and successful last few days, even with the seedling setback. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gardening updates along with all of our other farm adventures. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.